How'd you like it if everybody that you met from now on thought that you were smarter? How would that change your life? And can you really do that after watching just a simple YouTube video? By the time this video is done, you will know that the answer is yes, you can.
What do I say?
If you're new to this channel, I'm communication skills expert Dan O'Connor, and I specialize in what's called tactical communication. Today, the goal is getting people to find you smarter by just changing a few little things in your communication repertoire, in your verbal patterns. And anything you have to say, you can say it in a loving way, and I can help you do that. Remember that I'm coming out with these videos once a week, so subscribe to this channel as well as hitting the notification bell so that you are always in the know and the first to know when a new video like this comes out. So, you ready? Number 1, ditch the intensifiers already, okay? The intensifiers are going to be things such as really, very, stop saying it was so good. It was really bad. I'm so happy.
Stop doing that.
Because there are a couple of rules of communication that always apply. One rule is, if there's one word to express something that you're now expressing with 2 words, and that one word is more accurate of an expression, it's more precise, use that one word. Also remember, precision, clarity, and brevity are things that are highly valued in a communicator. So keep that in mind as we talk about these 3 things. You know, if my boss is asking me on my second day of work, something like,
how's the orientation going?
If I were to say, oh yes, thank you so much. It was really good. That instructor is so good. And I am just really happy to be here. Thank you so much. He or she might think to himself or herself,
oh, look at how happy he is to be here. Oh, that's good. Bless his heart. I got nothing from that feedback.
You don't want to be that person. Remember that when somebody at work asks you for your opinion on something, first of all, that should be one of the few times you give it, because a law of the universe, you do not give away things that you consider to be valuable. You don't. People who go around expressing themselves, giving their 2 cents, giving their opinion, saying what they liked, what they don't like, giving warnings, they do not value what they are saying. They know that what they are saying or the information they're delivering has no value, or they would not be giving it away for free, because that's just a law. The people who actually have something of value to say or to contribute and know it, you know, they worked hard, they studied, however they got there, they know how valuable what they have is. They don't give it away for free. They don't, because they know people either don't appreciate it, don't respect it, don't use it, devalue it. It does not happen. So watch your words, guard your opinions, and keep them to yourself, and that will on its own make what you then say appear to be more valuable. If you want to make it even more valuable, make sure that you don't use the intensifiers, because there's a big difference in what I said a moment ago about how I'm so happy to be here. Imagine if somebody were to say,
oh yes, I am so happy to be here.
And I'm thrilled to be here. Totally different. I'm thrilled. Thrilled is a synonym for so happy. If there's one word that can more accurately express what you have to say, using one word rather than 2, that is the word you should use. Now, that's not the same as I should be using, big fancy words when I can. A rule is never use a $20 word when a $5 one would do. If they were to ask me, so how's your first day going? And I wanted to say, I'm so happy to be here. If I were to say,
I am rapturous.
What? That is not appropriate. It's not well known. And if I want to impress people around me by learning the dictionary word of the day every day and then using it, that's not going to impress anybody. The next video in this series is going to be dealing with filler words. Filler words are the things that we say in between what we say. For example, and I'd like to know, what are the specific filler words that you struggle with or that you are driven crazy by when other people say them? So you don't need to stop the video. Again, just jot in the comments. I would appreciate knowing what they are. One of the rules of communication is it is not effective if people don't understand it. If I'm talking to a group of people who I believe will be so impressed with my linguistic skills because I'm using words that they don't even know what they mean, that's not an effective form of communication, saying things that people won't understand. So that said, let's say that you're on a date and somebody were to cook you dinner and then ask you, so what do you think? You could say,
oh, it's so good.
Which means nothing. I can eat any food and then lie about whether I like it or not by saying,
oh, it's so good.
That doesn't really show that I put any thought into it or that I am saying anything about that food. Instead, if something is so good or really good, even saying something such as delectable is better than it's so good. Or if something is so delicious, be precise. It's delectable. This meatloaf is aromatic. The salad dressing is tasty, and when it's put on top of those fresh vegetables, it just sings. And it is one of the most satisfying meals I've had, I think, since I got here. I'm going to leave here today with dreams of your sugar plums dancing in my head. Whatever. But how different is it? If I were to be asked,
So did you enjoy the meeting today?
and I were to say,
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, I got a lot out of it. Thank you so much. Those guys are really smart. They know a lot about what they're doing.
that gives no value to my boss or anyone who asked me what I thought of the meeting. Remember that people are really asking you. If these are your bosses or supervisors or somebody above you in the food chain asking you, what do you think of something? What they are really saying to you is, what investment am I getting back? Tell me, what's your take on this? I have invested in, I have paid for that trainer, that training class, the time that you spent in there. I'm paying for all of that. Tell me what I'm getting from it. And if I say, I really liked it, they're going to be like, and eventually they'll stop asking you. That's not a good sign. Instead, if I were to say, I thought it was highly productive. Those people who were in that meeting, I appreciate how they share their knowledge. And I learned a lot of things that are going to make me more efficient and therefore more productive in my position, not just here, but for the rest of my life. That may be here, but I'm very grateful that I get to spend time with people like that who teach me so much. You know, one time I said, I'm very grateful. I'm not going to say I'm ecstatic. That's not appropriate. There are appropriate times to use intensifiers, but we tend to use them when we can't think of what to say. And so we say something common and add an intensifier to it. Just take a moment to think of something better to say.
Now, if you'd like more information on these specific things, make sure to check out my courses at Dan O'Connor Training. The course that has the most of this type of thing in it right now is Step Out of the Shadows and Speak. You can find that in my store. And we're going to be coming out with this summer a whole new line of courses. And remember that if you're a VIP member, all of the courses are included, so you don't need to spend another dime. Just go enjoy the courses. And if you're not a VIP member, become one before all of the courses come out because the price is going up. And once you get it, it's yours for life. So that's where you go for information like this. And I'll see you back inside.
That's always going to be better than quickly answering with something mediocre. If I were telling a story, for example, and were to say, it was a really cold day. In cases like that, when you start sentences with it was a, think about what am I really talking about and just put that first. The day was freezing. I could put an intensifier before cold, but use an appropriate one. The day was bitter cold or bitterly, depending on the angle I'm taking. It was a productive meeting, or the meeting was productive. The meeting was streamlined and productive, and I appreciated that. When you're talking about something and you want to emphasize that thing, put it first then. Or let's say that I want to emphasize how I felt. If that's what I want to do, put that first. It makes a difference what you put first. Sentence structure is key, not just in writing. Most of us have taken courses where you get evaluated on your sentence structure. You can diagram a sentence, and the way you structure your sentences can be judged. And you can grade them 1 to 10. You can red pen the mistakes. The only difference between written communication that you can structure and grade and see the improvements when you restructure things, and verbal communication is one is coming out of our mouth and one is putting pen to paper. But changing the structure of your sentences when you write them is similar to changing the structure of your sentences as you speak them. If I were to say, for example, that meeting was so boring, I thought it would never end. If I want to put emphasis on the way I felt about it instead of the meeting itself, interminable would be the word I would use to describe that boring meeting. So now if you forget everything else but one thing in that sentence, chances are it's going to be that I described something as interminable. So remember, what you put at the beginning of the sentence has power, has more power than just about anything else in the sentence. Unless, of course, you're specifically structuring your sentence so that all of the power of that sentence comes at the very last word. But most people don't really put that much thought into what they're saying. Put that much thought into what you're saying. It will pay off. Communication is the number one thing that people use when they judge us to be either intelligent or a dum-dum.
But of course, there's much more that we can do so that people will form an image of us as a powerful, savvy communicator who does not waste time. For example, we were just talking about this online the other day. If I have mastered this part of removing the intensifiers and instead using the right word to express how I feel. Let's say that I've done that and I'm waiting for somebody to ask me how I felt about something or what I thought about something. And so I was sitting in an interview and they had a young man come in and interview for the next position of sales manager. And when he left, my boss were to ask me,
So, what'd you think about him?
and I were to say, I was disillusioned by not just his attitude, but his outfit. The problem with that was,
if you can decrease the use of intensifiers and use them properly, that will help you project an image of somebody who values what they have to say, who knows how to deliver a message with precision and clarity. And people who know how to do that, people who value what they have to say, are going to be considered by other people to be savvy, polished, honest, forthright, and valuable communicators. And above all else, that will make people think that they are smarter. And if you do it, people will think then that you are smarter than they thought before you started eliminating those mistakes and adding the tips that we talked about here today. So make sure to share this video with other people who you think could use this, because I know what I could use. I could use the support. So support this channel by sharing this video on Facebook and Twitter and any place else that people may go to get information like this. And also help support this channel by, if nothing else, liking this video, or if you didn't like it, tell me why in the comments. And if you have a question regarding communication skills, remember to leave that in the comments below, and I will answer it in a video response like this. For more information on these types of things that will help people find you to be more credible and more honest and more fascinating with every word that you speak, check out the courses that I have at danoconnortraining.com online. And remember that I'm coming out with new courses now. If you get your VIP pass now, that will entitle you to access to any course from now till the end of time. And you can instantly download all of my resources, even the premium ones, on danoconnortraining.com. And we've started a new special where you can get your VIP pass and instant access to everything with just $99 down on Easy Pay. So you can get the whole kit and caboodle, and you can keep getting it from now until the end of time. Imagine that. Imagine everything that you could do if you just had the right words. I will help give you those words so that you can say whatever you have to say, helping you do whatever you want to do. And remember that you can do it in a loving way, in a compassionate way. Anything you have to say, you can say it in a loving way. You can do that, and I can help you do that. So I hope that I see you again in the future. Remember that I'm coming out with these videos once a week, and I'm also coming out with some live videos and some question and answer videos at least once a week. So be the first one to know, keep in the loop, and subscribe to this channel, as well as hitting the notification bell so that you are always in the know and the first to know when a new video like this comes out. So I hope to see you there in those future videos. For everybody here at Dan O'Connor Training, this is Dan O'Connor, signing off.